Have you ever been peacefully feeding your fish only to see a long, flat white worm slither across the glass like it's auditioning for horror movie villain fame? Yeah, I've been there. And it's not exactly the adventure I signed up for when I pictured my serene underwater world. Those creepy crawlers are Planarian worms, and they can overtake your tank faster than a Netflix binge session. But don't freak out, because today I'm going to walk you through exactly why they show up, why they're a problem, and how to finally get rid of them without turning your aquarium into a chemical nightmare zone. First, let's figure out what we're dealing with. Planaria are flatworms with triangular heads, see 2 eye spots, and glide around like little waxy ribbons. They're often white or tan, but sometimes take on colors from what they've been eating. They're not kind of wormy roommates. They reproduce asexually and can regrow from a single chopped-off piece. So decapitate them in your mind, and you've actually fueled the infestation. Not ideal. These things often hitchhike their way into tanks on new plants, snails, shrimp, or even the substrate you use. That's how they enter the VIP section of your aquarium party, uninvited and ready to take over. So, are they dangerous to your fish? No, healthy adult fish are generally okay, but that's like saying a shark doesn't care about a toothpick. Planaria especially target fish eggs, shrimp babies, snails, and sick or vulnerable fish. If you are breeding, then you better watch out, because Planaria can wipe out entire clutches of eggs before you can say underwater nap. They also scavenge decaying matter, so their presence is a big flag that something in the tank needs cleaning. But here's the key thing. Sometimes Planaria are just a symptom, not the cause. The real issue is overfeeding or poor tank maintenance that leaves the buffet open 24/7, full of uneaten food, detritus, and decomposing plants. That's like keeping an all-you-can-eat worm buffet going daily. Knowing how to spot the difference between harmless detritus worms and sinister Planaria is part of the battle. Detritus worms are thin, stringy, segmented worms that do a bit of vacuuming for you but can explode into numbers when conditions are messy. Usually cleaning substrate and backing off on feeding is enough to send them packing. Planaria, on the other hand, are larger, flatter, with 2 bitely eye spots, and are unappealing enough that fish avoid eating them. They recoil and die slowly if poked under bright light, indicating they are definitely flatworms, not the harmless types. When you spot them, you want to confirm before treating, because using chemicals for detritus worms is overkill and risky. Always be sure, because treatments can harm snails, shrimp, and even delicate fish. Now, how do we get rid of Planaria without wiping out your aquatic ecosystem? We'll start with the DIY trap approach, which is safe and slow. Grab a small container or worm trap, some pure protein bait like a bit of brine shrimp or meat, and drop it in overnight, covered so only worms get in. The worms crawl in attracted by the bait but can't get out. In the morning, you pull it and either flush or boil the bait inside to kill them. This method takes patience, because you nail a percentage each day until none show up, but it's poison-free and easy. While trapping, you can also, go nuclear on feeding. Cut food portions in half for a few weeks. No leftovers means Planaria lose their food source. It's definitely frustrating for your fish, but not fatal if you keep them healthy. Next up is cleaning the tank substrate with vacuuming. You want to get rid of any eggs or worms that you can physically remove. This playlist approach of trap, measure, and clean gives a great foundation before chemical steps. If after 7 to 10 days of DIY methods you still see worms, it is time to consider chemical treatment. First, make sure you have removed any snails, sensitive invertebrates, and possibly move shrimp to a separate tank. They can tolerate some, but some meds are lethal to them. I am making a quick pause to invite you to join over 1,000 subscribers to our weekly quick and cool fish facts. Just go to aquariumsource.com/subscribe. I promise it won't smell fishy. Back to the treatments. The most recommended medication is fenbendazole, which is sold as Panacur C or Safeguard. This is actually the same dewormer that vets use on pets, but it really works magic on Planaria. Dose at about 1 level teaspoon per 50 gallons, but always, follow the label instructions carefully. And don't forget to remove activated carbon ahead of treating, because it will soak up the medication. Leave it in for 2 days, then do a 50% water change and retreat 2 weeks later to hit any eggs that may hatch. After that, go ahead and vacuum residue and watch ammonia closely, because decaying worms will spike it. Another option is no Planaria by Aquarium Coop, which has ingredients like betel nut extract that work on flatworms while being shrimp safe. It still needs a retreat and water changes after, but it's another tool when fenbendazole is not suitable. If you're feeling old school, you can also try a formalin dip, which stuns and kills Planaria on contact. But you know it really needs precision handling and immediate tank cleaning, so I personally avoid that one unless I'm wearing full PPE and a lab coat. Just kidding, though seriously, be careful. There are also natural predators, like certain loaches and shrimp, that eat Planaria, but they won't eliminate them completely. They can help keep numbers low, but honestly, they often just keep the infestation from exploding rather than actually clearing it. Through all of this, you should be monitoring water quality every few days. Homeowners test kits for ammonia, nitrites, nitrates, and pH will alert you if things go sideways after treatment. Keeping a quarantine tank routine for new plants and animals is honestly your best prevention. Isolate and inspect for a few weeks to catch hitchhikers before they enter your main tank. So the key steps are identify the worm type, start with traps and feeding reduction, clean substrate, then treat with medication if they're stubborn, monitor water quality, and, replenish invertebrates slowly. Let's talk about a common mistake people make, which is chopping Planaria bits off. That actually regenerates them into 2 or more worms, so congratulations, you just turned one horror villain into an army. Not recommended. Another mistake is blasting the tank with dewormer without removing snails, shrimp, or carbon. That ends with high casualties, regret, and honestly, your ghost shrimp giving you the stink eye. Think of Planaria as a stubborn roommate with regeneration superpowers. You need consistent eviction steps, starting with eviction notices, then cleanup day, and then finally eviction with a little chemical eviction notice if they refuse to leave. Now, I promised a helpful tip, so here it is. Use a UV sterilizer in your tank's filter loop. It won't directly kill Planaria, but it controls free-floating worms and many pathogens that hitchhike. Think of it like turkey in your filter loop. Not gross, but effective. After treatment and cleanup, reintroduce invertebrates slowly and, continue weekly substrate vacuuming and cutting feeding as a new normal. Seriously, do not go back to overfeeding routines. You will regret it. If you want to share your Planaria horror stories or have questions about how to select the right trap medication or trap food, just let me know in the comments. I love war stories over Planaria. Maybe that's my weird hobby. Let's dive deeper into turning your tank into a worm-free paradise. One fun trick I've learned is turning cleanup into a game. Challenge yourself to spot and vacuum every sneaky Planaria egg, turning a chore into a treasure hunt. I also swear by adding a bit of live plants like Java moss after the chaos. Not just for beauty, but because they soak up excess nutrients that might tempt those flatworms back. Imagine your tank as a thriving jungle where Planaria can't find a foothold. For those who love a good tech upgrade, consider a protein skimmer if you've got a saltwater setup. It pulls out organic waste before Planaria can feast. In freshwater, a gentle air stone can keep water moving, making it harder for those wiggly invaders to settle. I once had a tank where I got lazy with water changes, and let me tell you, the Planaria threw a party. Lesson learned. And now I'm the king of consistency. If chemicals feel intimidating, don't worry, I've been there too. Start small with traps and watch your confidence grow as you outsmart those regenerating rascals. Share your victories or struggles below, and let's build a community of worm-busting heroes. Maybe next time, we'll tackle algae monsters or fishy tantrums. What do you think? If this video helped you take down the flatworm invasion, please like and subscribe for more aquarium survival tips, and share it with a friend whose tank might have become a worm hotel. And comment below what fishy topic you want me to tackle next, because I'm all ears and gills.